A mother pig once lived in a farmyard with her 3 little pigs. They had plenty of food to eat, and the little pigs grew up strong and healthy. One day, the mother pig called them to her. "You are growing up so fast," she told them. "Soon there will be no room for us all here in the farmyard. You must go out into the big, wide world and build your own houses. But don't forget to watch out for the big bad wolf." The 3 little pigs said goodbye to their mother and went out into the big wide world to build new homes. Before long, they found a big pile of straw. "I will build my house with the straw," said the first little pig. He mixed the straw with some sticky mud and built his house. "It doesn't look very strong," said the third little pig, watching his brother at work. But the first little pig was too tired to say anything. He just curled up inside his house and went to sleep. The 2 other little pigs continued on their way until they came to a pile of sticks. "I will build my house with these sticks," decided the second little pig. So he collected the sticks and tied them together to make his house. He lined it with cabbage leaves. "It doesn't look very strong," said the third little pig, watching his brother at work. But the second little pig was too tired to say anything. He just curled up inside his house and went to sleep. The third little pig went on his way until he came to a brickyard. The workers kindly gave him a cartload of fine bricks to build his house. It took a long time for the third little pig to build his house. His brothers laughed at him and said it was a waste of time. But the third little pig just carried on until he had built a fine, strong house. Soon after this, the big bad wolf was walking through the forest and came to the straw house. He saw the little pig at the window, and thinking how much he would enjoy a little pig for supper, he called out, little pig, let me come in." "Not by the hair on my chinny chin chin," replied the oldest little pig. So the wolf shouted crossly, "Then I will huff, and I will puff, and I will blow your house down." The wolf took a deep breath, and he huffed, and he puffed, and he blew the house down. The little pig ran away in terror and kept running until he came to the house made of sticks. Let me in quickly," he howled, hammering on the door until it opened. "The big bad wolf is coming." The 2 little pigs trembled as they heard the big bad wolf arrive. He knocked on the door and said, little pigs, let me come in." "Not by the hair on our chinny chin chins," they shouted back. "Then I will huff, and I will puff, and I will blow your house down," shouted the wolf crossly. He took a deep breath, and he huffed, and he puffed, and he blew the house down. The 2 little pigs ran away in terror and kept running until they came to the house made of bricks. Let us in quickly," they howled howled, hammering on the door until it opened. The big bad wolf is coming! The three little pigs trembled as they heard the big bad wolf's footsteps nearing the house. He knocked on the door and said, little pigs, let me come in." "Not by the hair on our chinny chin chins," the little pigs shouted back. "Then I will huff, and I will puff, and I will blow your house down," shouted the furious wolf. And taking a deep breath, the wolf huffed, and he puffed, and he puffed, and he huffed, but he couldn't blow the brick house down. Then he banged on the walls and the door, but he couldn't get in. "Go away!" cried the three little pigs. "Not till I have eaten you all for my dinner," replied the wolf. But however hard he tried, he could not find a way in. Finally, the wolf gave up and slunk away to think how he could trick the little pigs. The following day he came back smiling. "Little pigs? Oh, little pigs! There are some marvelous turnips in the field. Come with me and we will dig them up for tomorrow's dinner." "I will meet you in the field at 5 o'clock, replied the first little pig cunningly. But he went at 1 o'clock, not 5 o'clock, picked all the turnips and was back at home safe and sound by the time the wolf arrived. The wolf was furious, but thought of a new plan. "There are some lovely apples in the apple tree in Farmer Brown's orchard. Let's go and pick them at 5 o'clock tomorrow." This time, the second little pig went out early to try to trick the wolf. But this time, the wolf arrived early too. He looked up at the little pig who was in the tree picking the apples and licked his lips. The little pig, realizing that he was in danger, threw down a big apple. Just he had hoped, the greedy wolf ran after it, and as it rolled across the grass. While the wolf was picking it up, the little pig quickly slipped down the tree and hid in a barrel. Then he rolled down the hill inside the barrel, all the way to his house. The wolf was furious that the little pigs had got the better of him again. He was more determined than ever to catch the three little pigs and have them for dinner. He climbed onto the roof of the house, thinking that he could climb down the chimney. When the third little pig heard the wolf on the roof, he called softly to his brothers, "Quickly, quickly, let's put the cooking pot on the fire." When the wolf came down the chimney, he fell straight into the pot with an enormous splash. The third little pig quickly put the lid on. That was the end of the big bad wolf. And the three little pigs lived very safely and happily in their brick house for the rest of their lives.